I was house-sitting for my uncle that summer. He owns this isolated antique mansion in rural Pennsylvania, the kind that still has rotary phones, drafty stone walls, and doors that don't fully shut unless you slam them. Before leaving, he looked at me and said something strange. "Just make sure the basement stays locked." I laughed, thinking he was joking, but he wasn't. Every night I checked it, bolt locked, door sealed. But on the third night, around 2:40 a.m., I woke up to this low, constant growl from his two German shepherds. They were facing the hallway, rigid, not barking, just waiting. I got up, flashlight in hand, heart already racing. When I reached the kitchen, I froze. The basement door was open. I know I locked it. It's a loud bolt lock. You hear it click. I whispered the dogs' names. They didn't move, just stared into the dark stairwell. I leaned in, light barely reaching the third step, and heard something down there breathe. Just one sharp inhale. No footsteps, no voice, just breathe. Close. I slammed the door, shoved a chair under the handle, and didn't sleep the rest of the night. When my uncle returned, I told him. He went quiet, then said, "I thought I sealed that crawl space off 2 years ago. I guess I was wrong." There was no sign of forced entry, no footprints, no animals, just the open door and whatever knew I was alone. I saw a ghost once, I think. I was 17, on a school field trip to this plantation-style mansion-turned-museum in Charleston. We were told it had been abandoned for years before being restored. A few staff joked about hauntings. I didn't care. While the group toured the upstairs library, I stepped away to look out this huge arched window. It overlooked the back courtyard, wild grass, cracked stone pathways, eerie silence. That's when I saw him. A man in a dark suit, standing perfectly still near the center fountain. He didn't move, didn't look away. His face was blurred by the glass, but something about him felt wrong, like he didn't belong. I blinked, looked again, still there. I turned to call the tour guide. When we both looked back, he was gone. I rushed outside with 2 friends to check. That part of the property? Completely fenced in by 10-foot hedges, no gates, no doors. Later that night, I Googled the mansion's history. Buried in some scanned documents was a black and white photo. It showed the original owner standing in that courtyard. Same suit, same posture, same dead stare up at the library window. When I showed my teacher, she went pale and just said, "You saw the caretaker. He hasn't worked here in over a century." I laughed it off until I looked out my own bedroom window that same night, and for just a second saw that exact silhouette, watching. When my grandfather died, we inherited his colonial mansion. 4 floors, 10 rooms, and 1 door that nobody ever opened. It was on the 3rd floor, wedged between 2 guest bedrooms. No knob, no hinges, just sealed with old nails and paint. My dad said it had been closed off decades ago. No big deal, but I couldn't stop noticing it. Every time I passed by, I'd feel off, like I was being listened to. One night, I was walking to the bathroom when I saw something that made me freeze. That door, the sealed one, was open. Not wide, just slightly ajar. But it was definitely open. I stepped closer. The air near it was colder, heavy. Inside was a small room, maybe 5 by 5 feet, lined with peeling wallpaper and a mirror facing the door. But the mirror didn't reflect me. It reflected the hallway, but not the one I was standing in. It was showing some other hallway, one I didn't recognize. Longer, narrower, flickering lights. And then, someone walked past. In the mirror, not behind me. I shut the door, hard, locked it. Ran to wake my parents. When we checked 5 minutes later, the door was sealed again. Nails rusted into place like they'd been untouched for decades. My dad swore I was dreaming. But weeks later, during renovations, a crew broke open a boarded attic panel and found a second mirror, identical to the one I saw, shattered into pieces and wrapped in yellowed newspaper from 1963. Sometimes I still dream of that hallway, and sometimes I don't see my reflection move when I do.